Eyes that survived. Brown eyes are the reason we're here. Imagine chasing prey across the blazing savannah. No sunglasses, no shade. Your vision burns, collapses in the light. You miss your mark. You don't eat. Now imagine someone beside you, eyes dark, rich with melanin, still seeing clearly through the glare. That's not luck. That's evolution. Near the equator, the first humans looked toward the horizon with eyes built for endurance. Melanin shielded them, a natural barrier against solar radiation. While lighter eyes scatter light in a brilliant show, brown eyes absorb it, tame it, use it. Today, over 70% of the world still carries that same defense. Brown eyes aren't rare, they're ancient armor. They don't shine easily, don't change with the light, don't reveal emotion the way blue eyes do. They absorb instead of reflect, mysterious, serious, steady. And yet, under low sunlight or candle glow, they reveal a secret, a faint amber glimmer, like fire buried beneath earth. It's the melanin again, showing that even the darkest eyes still hold light. Blue eyes, the beautiful illusion. Everyone calls them blue, but that color doesn't exist. Blue eyes have no pigment at all. They're transparent, a trick of the light. When light enters the iris, it scatters and reflects back, just like the sky. That's why your eyes and the heavens share the same hue, both illusions painted by physics. And every blue-eyed person on Earth, more than 500 million, shares a single ancestor. A genetic mutation 6 to 10,000 years ago near the Black Sea silenced the melanin gene. Before that, blue eyes didn't exist. It wasn't just an aesthetic change. It altered perception of beauty, mystery, even power. In the North, blue eyes became symbols, purity, divinity, sometimes danger. Stories said they could see souls or steal them, but blue fades. As we age, melanin shifts. The eyes that once shimmered like glacial water can lose their glow, turn gray, softer, nostalgic, like the sky before a storm. An illusion, aging gracefully. Green eyes, the impossible color. Once you see green eyes, you don't forget them. Only 2% of humans have them, rarer than red hair, rarer than 12 fingers. But rarity isn't what makes them special. It's how impossible they are. For an eye to be green, nature has to mix light and chemistry with surgical precision. Too much melanin, they turn brown. Too little, they become blue. And into that delicate space, the body must add lipochrome, a yellow pigment that tints the scattered light into green. The result, a color that shouldn't exist, but does, if everything happens in perfect balance. That's why green eyes shift. In shadow, they darken. In sunlight, they glow. Indoors, they seem to change altogether. They're not a color, they're a reaction. An iris rewriting itself in real time. No wonder mythology gave them to witches, forest gods, and beings not quite human. Eyes that change with light were never trusted or easily forgotten. Hazel eyes, the shapeshifters. Hazel eyes refuse to pick a side. Yesterday they were green, today golden, tomorrow bronze. You look in the mirror and the color argues with itself. It's not magic, it's physics. Hazel eyes contain just enough melanin to ground them, but not enough to fix their color. They adapt, bending with light, mood, and movement. Under sunlight, the green expands. In calm light, the amber returns. In shadow, they darken, absorbing emotion like a mirror with memory. Think of them as living lenses, adjusting constantly, reflecting who you are in that exact moment. They don't protect like brown eyes or dazzle like blue ones, but they balance both, flexible, steady, perfectly adapted to survive between shadow and glare. Amber eyes, the predator's gaze. Amber eyes are uncommon in humans, but common among wolves, tigers, and owls. That's not coincidence. It's chemistry. Amber comes from high levels of lipochrome and low melanin, creating a golden, almost metallic reflection. In humans, less than 5% have them, often mistaken for light brown or hazel until the light proves otherwise. And when it does, there's no mistaking it. That glowing, honey-colored gaze feels primal. Scientists believe we still react to it instinctively, the same way prey reacts to predators' eyes. That's why amber eyes are often linked to leadership, dominance, inner fire. They don't flicker with doubt. They look at you as if they already know how the story ends. Gray eyes, the ice within. Gray eyes don't sparkle, they don't change. They simply see. Less than 3% of the population have them, even rarer than green. They contain less melanin than blue eyes, which means they scatter more light but diffuse it evenly. No warmth, no color, just clarity. People with gray eyes often seem unreadable, not because they hide emotion, but because their eyes don't give it away. They neither brighten when happy nor darken when sad. They remain calm, still, unbothered. In mythology, gray eyes belong to storm gods, seers, and those who watch time itself. Not cold, just old. Eyes carved from the wind. Red and violet eyes, the light of blood. It sounds like fiction, but red eyes exist, at least under the right light. In cases of albinism, the iris lacks melanin entirely. Light passes through it, reflects off blood vessels, and returns red or violet. What you see isn't color, it's anatomy. It's the eye revealing what's normally hidden, the blood that powers vision itself. Under bright light, these eyes can glow crimson. In dim light, they soften to lavender, a haunting, delicate illusion. They are the rarest eyes on Earth, and like all rare things, fragile. Without pigment, they struggle against the sun, against glare, against time. Even beauty has its cost. Black eyes, the void. Technically, black eyes don't exist, but sometimes brown becomes so dark, so saturated with melanin, that no light escapes. They don't shimmer or shift. They absorb everything, like a gravitational pull made visible. In folklore, black eyes were feared. They belonged to spirits, demons, gods without souls. In science, they're simply melanin taken to its extreme, biological armor turned opaque. Some rare conditions like aniridia remove the iris entirely, leaving only a dark abyss. When you stare into eyes like that, you understand why ancient humans saw something supernatural. It's not just color, it's presence. Heterochromia, the eyes that tell two stories. Sometimes evolution writes in split ink, one eye light, the other dark. One gold stripe cutting through blue. One iris divided in half. That's heterochromia, when melanin is unevenly distributed between or within the eyes. It can be complete, two different eyes. Partial, a patch of color within one. Or central, two hues swirling around the pupil like an eclipse in slow motion. Less than 1% of people have it, but no one forgets them. Because those eyes break the rule of symmetry that evolution usually enforces. They remind us that perfection isn't always balance. Sometimes it's contrast. The ocular ring, the silent warning. Sometimes what looks beautiful isn't a color, it's a signal. A golden ring forming around the iris might look mystical, but it can be medical. It's called the Kayser-Fleischer ring, a buildup of copper caused by Wilson's disease, a genetic disorder that prevents the body from clearing excess metal. It doesn't affect vision, but it can affect everything else. Liver, brain, nerves. That metallic shimmer, it's not light, it's chemistry asking for help. Beauty, after all, isn't always harmless. Our eyes carry evolution, emotion, and warning, all in one frame. From the brown that let us survive the sun, to the blue that fooled the light, to the rare colors that rewrite the rules of human sight. Every shade tells a story of survival, adaptation, and the fragile physics of being alive. Because before we learn to look at the stars, we learn to look at each other.